On today's episode of MotoCheez.
X gon' give it to you.
The following movie is rated I.
Let's take a little rip on the Hawk X 250
R.
118, that is kilometers. The speedometer's fairly correct, but the odometer is kilometers. We'll start the Rever app once we get going. Let's see if it starts without a choke. Oh, it does. Let's see if I can keep it running now. We'll choke it. We'll let it warm up. Been a few weeks. Of course, being carbureted, you gotta give it a little throttle and keep the idle up. Many of you asking if I'm gonna do some mods on this. Yes, I am. I was kind of waiting for the first oil change and get a couple hundred miles on it. But everything that I've done to the original Hawk can be done on this. Everything. All the same parts. If you go to MotoCheez.com, I have a whole section of parts you could buy. And you can look at the old videos. But I will be doing some upgrades on this. Not sure if I'm going to do the exhaust, but I will definitely be doing the carburetor. Possibly a dash. Because the carburetor is lean, as you can hear. So today we're going to take a ride through Wingdale, New York, up to Dover, up to Wassaic, go through the old psychiatric center, the old section, and the newer section that they repurposed and is operating and open. Then we'll come back, loop around through Connecticut, and see what else we can find. Put some miles on so we can change the oil. Living in the Northeast, I'm in Connecticut. Our summer's coming to a close, but today is going to be close to 80, so I figure I better take advantage. Put our Rever app on, and we'll start recording from here. I said we will start recording from here. My GoPro shut off. Yeah, you can feel this carburetor's just a little bit on the lean side as you're cruising along. So I'm going to take the carburetor that's already tuned, throw it on here. I'll tell you what's in it. A few burnouts here, huh? I know I've mentioned it, but this Hawk X with the counterbalanced engine is noticeably smoother than the non-counterbalanced CGs, like the original Hawk, the TBR, the Raven. And if you notice, the new Hawk DLX, which is the fuel-injected version of this, is counterbalanced. Bravo. Also notice a lot of you guys purchased this bike already. Some of you being your first bike. I think it's a pretty good choice. You'll get the China bike haters, but I tell you what, for a first bike, it's pretty darn good. They take a crash pretty good. Of course, if you hit something with the front wheel, you're going to bend the rim up. They're a little difficult to find because a lot of people do that, but you can find them. Keep that awake every once in a while, I suppose. Haven't been up there in a while. Maybe I should take a little spin up there. It's a water tower in an old building. Hey. Raise the idle up. It's weird why it's doing that. Did I turn the choke off all the way? Yeah, it's off. Carbureted vehicles. Big water tower. Wonder why it's stalling on me. Wonder what that is. Electric Amazon truck, can't even hear it. Why are you stalling, X? Reach down, put the choke on, give it a little gas, because if there's a little bit of crap in the carburetor, it'll suck it out. This guy's booking. Hope no cars are coming the other way. Right there, when I was a kid, we used to take the cars and jump that baby. Yeah, and then you had this turn you had to deal with. And you never knew if there was a car coming the other way, but back then you're lucky to see a car on this road. You get some air. An old, what was it, 76 Cutlass Supreme. I think I probably got the most air out of. If you can get it up to about 55 miles an hour, you'd get probably a good 10 feet of air. Yeah, see, the idles are real high now. Sometimes that choke trick does the job. If the gas dried up in the little jets or openings that go through. You noticed I'm behind him now. Now, if that were me, I'd let me go by, which he's doing. That's awesome. The leaves are falling. Talked to my buddy Tim that works down here, and he's been using Dumpy a little bit, so I guess Dumpy's running pretty good. The mini truck, of course, if you're fairly new to following me. Should see if he's there. What's up? Tim around?
He was just here, he just left.
Oh.
I'm not sure where he went.
Did he take the UTV? I saw him over by the, someone with a UTV over by the...
No, he took his truck, his work truck.
Oh, he took the truck. I was just coming through.
Somewhere, I'm not sure where he went though.
Alright.
Nice fight.
Thanks. Take it easy.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it raised the idle up on me. So there must have been a little bit of something. Oh, get behind him again. I'm having deja vu. Well, looks like the corn's ready. Guess we got the leaf foliage gawkers out already. At least that corn looks pretty dry. I haven't been up this road in forever. I don't even remember how far. I know it's a dead end, but let me see. We'll take it. See if they extended it at all. I don't think so. Ooh, that's muddy. I guess we won't go up any further because I think that's about the end of it there. Just joyriding. We get stuck behind that guy with the tractor again. He didn't stop. See that water tower over there? Take it right up to the old psychiatric center back in the 70s and 80s. I think into the 90s when they shut them down. Some slipper. They housed some mentally ill and deficient people in there. Part of it is still open, but it's not for the psychiatric patient. Half of it, we'll take a little ride up in there, is closed down. I think it's privately owned now by a maintenance company or something. We're just winging it today. No special purpose, just putting miles on for an oil change. I don't exactly remember what this building was. I think whoever the head person was used to be housed in here, like the head doctor or something. But as you can see, it's not occupied anymore. Nice old brick building now. I've come here with the guys, walked around in a previous episode a few years back. And I've been up here a few times for you guys. Did some drone video. This is private property, so make sure you get permission. I'm not going to go in any of these buildings, of course. It's just neat to see the architecture from back then. Number 13. Pretty wild, these things withstand time. So, tell me if you see anything in them windows while we're driving by. You never know. It is getting close to Halloween. I don't know what they're going to end up doing with these buildings. Shame to just see them sit here and decay. So we'll take a joyride up into the main section now. Scoot down this area first, where train tracks are. Powerhouse was down here. It's probably still functioning somewhat, but there's all underground tunnels through here too. And the main reason no one can do anything with these buildings is asbestos. Full of asbestos for all the steam plumbing and stuff like that. There's one of the train tracks coming through here. There's power plant. I guess it must still feed from here. Makes sense. A little greenhouse. Big bump. I was wondering if he was alright with bikes. Doing some dog training. Canine. So this section you can drive on, I think, if you wanted to see what's still left, which is quite a bit. There's that water tower I was telling you about. Quite a big spread up here. Several hundred acres. Oh. Take a shortcut. I did a video with the C3 vet down here. I met that guy that was, he didn't work here, he was a resident. That was pretty bizarre. But yeah, there's some of these buildings, the doors were open. I just peeked in, I didn't go in. Ooh, a lot of people walking, huh? It must be lunchtime. That's the main building. So this center section, the main office, is still open. Well, it's repurposed, I should say. And that's where we ended up on the other side. Like I said, they sold that off. I think it was a maintenance company. Quite a lot of activity going on up here. Now that right there is a vent for the tunnels that are all underground from that power plant. Them tunnels go to every single building, and they're big. They used to deliver food and everything, food service, under through those tunnels. The tunnels even go over to that area that I went in first. They're big. All the electric and steam pipe went through there. So when you see those, they're air vents. There's some over there. And all their water came from down here. There's got to be about a dozen wells down here that used to supply all the water. My dad actually worked here many, many years ago. He good? He's good? Oh, a lot of practicing. Canine. Lots of canine training today, boys. That was a fun little side jaunt. Don't get up in there too often. That's the World Peace Center there. I don't know if you ever came down to any of their festivals that they've had. It's pretty neat. Swing back up through Kent. Well, before Kent, we'll take Scotticoke by the Scotticoke Indian Reservation. Yeah, these bikes are perfect for this. You're just driving back roads, sightseeing, hit the dirt roads, hit the trails. Not so good for the highway. Wouldn't recommend it. A lot of people always ask that. I needed some therapy. I've been on a bike in over a week. Two-wheel therapy. I see these guys are getting their two-wheel therapy. Fun behind bars, as they say. I also noticed a lot of you guys that just bought some new bikes, saying that, you know, you had a bike when you were younger, in your teens, and you haven't ridden since then, and you want to get onto another motorcycle. Man, I'm getting some awesome feedback. Bringing back the good times. Because I'm older. And that's what got me back on these little enduros. You don't need to go fast. I've had my fast crotch rockets. ZX12R, ZX10R, ZX11. I don't need the speed. Kinda outgrew that. Just fun to get on two wheels and explore where you can't explore with a street bike. It's way better than sitting down and watching TV. Yeah, you get a lot of entertainment out of watching a funny sitcom or some kind of show that you like. Get yourself a motorcycle. Create your own adventure. And the plot is different every time. You can't get this kind of resolution on a television. Not even 8K. Fresh air. Some vitamin D. Yeah, I know, I don't wear my protective equipment. I'm a free range rider from the 70s and 80s, boys. I haven't been up that road in many, many years either. Let's take a ride. Yeah, I used to know someone that lived on this road. Her whole family owned this whole mountain. Her family was the Wing family. That's where the town Wingdale was named after their family. Her last name was Lawrence. Elizabeth Lawrence. She passed away a few years ago, and this was actually her house right there. That someone bought. She was a good friend of the family. There's a big lake up here, Crane Pond. She had a cabin at the end, her family. But as she got older, she just kept selling off bits and pieces. How's it going?
You a club member here?
Nah, I used to know Betty Lawrence down there, and I haven't been up this road in so long. I was just going up, turning around, coming back. You remember?
So the guy that runs the place is mowing up past the
Alright, I won't go up then.
You could go up.
Just stay on the road.
Right at the intersection here. He's up past it.
Oh, I was going to go up where Betty put the cabin and turn back around. Remember up on the pond? Not the one on the end of the pond. You remember Elizabeth Lawrence?
Yeah. No, you'll end up seeing Nick probably.
If I go all the way up? Yeah. Yeah, I'll turn around at the intersection then. Take it easy. Yeah, I'll turn around at the intersection. She built a cabin on the far end of the lake. Well, her family did years ago. And she sold that whole section off, but she owned this side of the lake. And she put a brand new log cabin in a few years before she passed away. And I think that guy that he was talking about, she left the cabin to him. I never actually saw that completed. Yeah, that's Betty's old place right there. See, you make your own adventure. You don't know what's gonna happen. I could have went up there, but I don't want to make any kind of waves. It probably would have been okay if I talked to him, but we'll continue our adventure this way. No one on smoke break today. There's something I'm not too sure about up here. There's a pavilion they built a few years back, and I know the Indian reservation built it, or I assume they built it, maybe with a grant or something, but I'm not sure if it's open to the public. But I don't see any signs that say it's not open to the public, and I've seen people in there having like parties and stuff, and I don't think they're part of the Scatticook reservation. I'll swing around through there, see if there's any signs, but I mean, it's a nice pavilion to have a little picnic, a little gathering. I assume it's for the reservation, but maybe it's open to the public. Someone from around here let me know. Right across the way is where they did I Spit on Your Grave. And they did some water scenes there behind the house. Never really point that out when I'm on this road, do I? I always point it out when I'm going up Route 7. Yeah, this engine is smooth as butter. No fatigue on the hands, and these aren't the best hand grips either. Right here. Right, that's a nice pavilion. Is it municipal? Is anybody allowed to just come here and use it? I don't know. Little outhouse. Oh, guys, you tell me. There's no signage at all saying anything. Yeah, you got horseshoe pits. Kind of looks like a general purpose area. Looks like they're grading, huh? This thing was roaring when New York City got flooded and all that rain we had. So was Bull's Bridge. That water was flowing pretty good too. A lot of stuff going on today. This is a hard surface. This hasn't been packed down. Putting a little crown on it. Go over his dirt pile. Good thing I got a dual sport. I'm not going fast anyway. So much more fun on a dual sport, in my opinion. And I think it's safer. You don't have the crazies on the road. I avoid the pavement where I can and stay on all secondary roads. And it's not because I can't do the main roads. It's because I prefer not to do the main roads. Yeah. Came down and took some video of Bull's Bridge too. That's roaring. Yeah, tubing. Ripping and roaring. Not so much now. It was twice as bad. Yeah, the bikers are out. Yeah, this was, we went down in there and took a video looking up. Everybody's getting the last of the nice weather up here. Because of course this weekend it's gonna rain and get chilly again. A couple of the places I went to today were private property, so you may not want to follow that route in, but you can still see most of what I was showing you. Staying on the legal side. Just to cruise up Route 7 here is a nice leisurely drive or ride. On some of the places I go off-road, they ask if they can take their four-wheel drive vehicles, and I say yes, some you can, some you can't. And this is where I said there used to be a trolley that went across the river when I was a kid. Not there anymore, of course. That was in one of my e-bike episodes. Different crowd than you guys, I think. But I do have some die-hard followers that watch everything. Quite a few. Uh-oh. Foliage rubberneckers, maybe? Take the scenic route. Running good since I had that idling issue. Now when I store these bikes with a carburetor, I usually shut the gas off and I'll let the carburetor run out of gas so I don't have to drain it. And that's it. Put a trickle charger on it if you want to save your battery. If not, you'd be lucky if it'll be good next year, the way these batteries are made nowadays. Wow, 33.9 miles, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Hey, I do have long pants on, if you didn't notice today, because it is getting colder. Good ride, X. What do we have on there? 170.9 kilometers. Guess we could do an oil change now. Time for the X and the other bikes to get put away for the winter. At least I got one last ride in. But I'll be down in Florida in 2 weeks, so I'll send you some videos from there. Thanks for watching, guys.
X gon' give it to you.
Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Hit that bell if you want new notifications on new videos. Links for products used are in the description and on MotoCheez.com. Thanks for watching.